He's as interested in the NCAA tournament as he is in Natalia's volleyball tournaments. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice but get on. Mandate. You get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. We love that about you, right, Gina Grad?
That's right.
Handball, Brian.
Go fuck your mother.
We had never had a clear example of how you have to think when it comes to the cops and tickets than moments ago when I was driving down PCH, Pacific Coast Highway. So I've said this many times. You have to, in order to go through life successfully when you're dealing, you have to deal with cops and criminals. Mm-hmm. Now, when I was painting my stereo brown in my truck, I was thinking like a criminal.
Right.
What is a criminal? What does he want with this stereo? Now, a lot of people go, they steal your stereo, and then they stop it there. But you have to go, what do they do with the stereo after they steal it? They don't listen to music on it. They fence it. And then what is the timeline? And the answer is they have to steal it and sell it immediately because they want drugs. Mm-hmm. You don't do drugs and go, well, I'll get my heroin in 3 or 4 weeks or 7 business days. They go, I need it tonight. And you cannot fence a brown spray-painted Sony digital truck stereo. So, to think that way.
Right.
Then, on the other side of the ledger, you have to think like cops. What do cops do? Cops hang out, and you come to them. Mm-hmm. They do not, there's a street, and there's a 4-way stop sign at the end of the street. They don't hang out in the middle of the street.
They lurk.
I don't mean the middle center. I just mean in between. Mm-hmm. They hang at the 4-way stop sign and they wait for you to do with things that are in your impulse to do, which is, as everyone has learned, and to Brian's great lament and mine as well, going up the 405 pass, everyone is going 51 miles an hour. Going down, they're going 79 miles an hour. Now, people are that far out of it, but that's how they do it. You will never see a cop at the bottom of an incline that is heading up. No. You will see him at the bottom of the one that's heading down because that's where the speeders are. So, you fish where the fucking trout are. You go to the hole where it is. That's
Spiders
where they hang.
Webs by nightlight or by porch lights.
Right. So, that's where the moths fly in. So, PCH is always people speeding, and there's one motorcycle cop, and he sits there, and he sits right in the middle around this bend where people speed, where it's the most open. He doesn't sit 100 feet behind the stoplight because people come to a stop and then they get going again. But when they pass him, they're doing 35 because they're getting back up. He sits in the middle of the longest stretch or toward the end of the long stretch, and that's where people get moving.
Yep.
So PCH has a couple of rando kind of small streets that lead down to it from the hills. And once in a while, the signal just goes red and there's no cars coming. It's only one direction. They can't come from the ocean. They're coming from down the hill. And you just look up the hill and there's nothing there.
And you dutifully sit and wait for it to turn.
I stopped. I looked. I saw nobody around. I saw no cops behind me other than occasionally confused motorists when I then drive through it.
Right.
I drove through that red light, and 200 yards later, I passed the cop who did not see me go through the red light because I'm the only one who does that. One person drives through the red. 67% of the people speed. So he's playing those odds.
Right.
So he's down waiting for the high volume speeders.
It's a numbers game.
It's a numbers game. So just understand it, people. Yeah. And, when you're driving across the grapevine, know where they are. They're at the bottom of the hill. They're at the 4-way stop. They don't hang out at the 2-way stop sign because people come to a full stop.
Yeah.
And the other people don't have to stop. They do the 4-way because they know you go, there's nobody here. I'm just going to do my California roll through here. So understand that.
Maybe the cop should take more of your fake orgasm rule, and every once in a while, just pop in where you don't expect it. Keep them on your toes.
Go to the dead end and hang out in the cul-de-sac.
It wouldn't be effective because no one else drives through with them but me. All right, now conundrum. You guys tell me what you would do. So I had one of my least favorite exchanges this morning. Sean, my fabricator, coming to Malibu, and he's going to weld some stuff on some railing he built and blah, blah, blah. I won't get you mired in it. He has things to do. But then at some point he said, now the welder involves a welder. It involves a tank, acetylene probably, or maybe it's oxygen. It's probably an oxygen tank, a welder. It's got a mishigash there, though no one who welds knows what that means. But it's a to-do. And it's up on the second floor, and I kind of want it out. It's been sitting there for a long time, just right in the middle of the hall. I want it out, and that was Sean was going to do some welding, and then was going to take the stuff out. But he forgot something that he was going to weld. It is this thing that I hold in my hand. It's a 5-inch piece of stainless steel, square 1-inch by 2-inch tubing, and this is the product.
I thought it was a fancy glasses case.
Or a clip.
Yeah.
He fabricated this. He cut the pipe, the tubing, he put the end on it. He very nicely rounded it down, and
That's a nice cigar holder.
That's right.
You weld it and then you grind it down smooth, and here it is in my hand. So my thing is I want to get this to Malibu to Sean with his welder.
Okay.
But we got an issue. I'm here. I'm going to be here for a while. And we're a little short-staffed today.
I got a little skeleton crew.
Now, we have a skeleton crew because it's Chris Maxipata's bachelor party. And
really? Interesting.
I don't know. My problem is I can only see things through my eyes. Everything I see is a 23-year-old Adam Carolla, and there's no universe where I go, I'm cutting out Friday as we tape the show, and Gary and Matt are coming with me.
Oh, shit.
And my thing is like, we'll do the show in the morning, and then you go to Vegas.
Right.
And it's like, no, we're going early.
Maybe they left last
We're going
night.
early.
They're on Thursday night?
Yeah, probably.
And the flight, now to be fair to them, flights are more later. They're cheaper earlier.
Sure.
But it's like, the bachelor party's the weekend in Vegas.
Think about The Hangover. I have Bradley Cooper, the teacher, waited until the final bell. Remember, he stole the kids'
Brian.
money.
Right. So my mindset my entire life, and including up until 10 minutes ago, was I'll do anything. I just have to, I'll be done on Friday at this. If somebody said, pick me up at the airport, I'd go, okay, when do you land? And they went 5 o'clock. I'd go, okay, I'll finish work and then I'll come in. But if they said 1 o'clock, I'd go, you got to get an Uber. I'm doing this. I treated haircuts and dental appointments and bachelor parties. They were all in the same category. Here's my schedule, and then I shall attend this thing after I'm done with my schedule. But there's a new world order.
I don't want to pile on.
Not to mention,
good boys.
Next Friday or the one after that is the wedding.
The actual wedding.
And that means everyone is cleared out of here.
I'll be here.
I don't want to pile on. I love those boys. But when I had my bachelorette party, my weekend, when I knew we had a 3-day weekend.
Also, good for you. Also, too many days in Vegas is a law of diminishing returns.
Yeah, 2 nights
You know what I mean? It's
tops.
like, I don't want that. I don't want that third day.
Well, I said to Chris, then what time are you flying out on Friday? And he went, 7 a.m. out of Burbank, first flight out.
Oh, wow.
And I said, okay, you're in Long Beach, so you're going to get up at 4:45, and then you're going to do an hour to the Burbank airport, and then
oh my God,
and
then you're gonna land in Vegas at 7:55 in the morning.
And do what? Wait, is this purely a money saving venture?
I think
getting to Vegas at 8 a.m. on Friday is a fool's errand.
I said what, but then what do you do? And you don't have a room. You can't check into your room.
You have like 6 hours.
You're going to be tired as shit. And he said, oh, my friends are there already.
Oh.
And I thought, wow, I said, wow, that's quite a sell your friends made to their wives.
Yeah.
Which is, I got to go to Vegas for a bachelor party, but I'm getting there before the bachelor.
We're setting up.
We're setting up.
Pre-bachelor.
That's amazing.
So fine. I don't have an assistant, and we don't have Gary. We don't have the producer. But I said we can do this without you guys. So enjoy. I had a funny exchange with Chris yesterday, which is like, I just do the part where I go, so everyone's gone on Friday morning for the bachelor party that's supposed to take place over the weekend in Vegas. Right? No, we're done here at 12:30 today, Friday, 12:30.
That's also a good point.
You got a good window to go to Vegas, but okay, the price. And Matt's driving because of the thing, but he left last night too. Okay,
this is
fine.
all very curious.
It's a little thin. So I there was some judging going on, but more just questions about why would you want to be in Vegas at 8 a.m. on a Friday? I would think you'd like to roll in at 5 or 6 and hit the buffet.
Even given our schedule, 12:30 ending time, you could easily make, I don't know, 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30 flight. Get there, plenty of time for a couple hours of pool and head on up for dinner.
I
and
agree.
They don't call it the Stripper Express for nothing. Those girls find the bargain price. You can go it too.
Well, I'll take their word for it. It's much more cost prohibitive to go later on, and that's fine. I get it. So I was talking to Chris about that. And then yesterday he was in here talking to me, and I was kind of half listening. And he said, "Yeah, I heard what you had to say, and I'm going in the evening."
Oh.
And I went. It was funny. I went, Chris, just fucking go in the morning. Go. I'm just venting. Just have fun. I heard what I listened to your logic, and I'm going in the evening. And I go, oh, well. Okay, then we'll see you tomorrow. And he goes, no, I'm going tonight.
Oh, Thursday evening.
Nice, nice.
I love this guy.
That's some fucking taekwondo.
He was listening to my logic of why do you want to roll in at 7:55 in the morning.
You made a compelling point.
You genius, you are 100% right again. I will not be going in the morning.
Right. So, all right, we wish him well. The problem is now I got this piece. And I want to get it to Sean, and I normally throw Ryan the keys to my car and tell him to hit the road post haste, but I'm not sure. Now, and there's a version where you call an Uber.
I said there's got to be a courier service or something, right? For $25.
Well,
I don't think you have to go with it.
I think you put it in an Uber now.
Like Uber Courier?
Is that a thing?
Well, they have Uber Eats, and they can deliver your fucking Target order.
I think it's literally like, and I don't know, so, Kaylin or whoever, like, I think what you do is you go, I'm calling an Uber, and instead of get into the Uber, you go, this laptop is going to this address, and when you stop there, someone's going to come out and collect the laptop.
I'm looking at Uber Connect same day package delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is it, like $20?
But who's going to put that on his phone?
Well, it's not now. Then it's not going to be cheap from here to Malibu,
right?
No.
But the question is what about Ryan just going there and coming back? I mean, that costs something. Ryan, are you performing some duty now?
He's holding a laptop.
Just doing research, trying to help out Kaylin.
Get out!
But now we're down 3.
Yeah.
We're going down 4. Fitzdog,
3.5.
Fitzdog can come in here, and I'm gonna. By the way, I had this thought last night that Fitzdog can just do Bobby Hollander as Fitzdog.
Oh boy!
We'll try to experiment with Fitzdog as Bobby
Creepy.
Hollander as that. All right. Well,
you thought it was Alfred, but it's not.
Then I guess Ryan, I got my keys. The car's at the other shop. The piece is here. I think you just need to hit the bricks. All right, we got there's an impromptu stand-up story that I saw.
Yeah.
I hadn't listened to it. Had you guys?
Yeah, Burbank, the Burbank.
Someone pass out
AMC.
on stage again?
Oh no,
yeah, I saw this chick.
Yeah, this chick is like a captive audience.
She's
they
in a
can't go
movie
anywhere.
theater.
What?
In a movie
Oh, I
theater.
thought you said she's in a movie there.
No,
yeah,
she's
she's
in a movie
in the movie theater. Well, everyone's waiting for a movie to start, and she goes, "I'm just going to pop up and give them my set. Where are they going to go?"
I saw 10, 15 seconds of this, and she seemed kind of crazy. Is this a dare? Like, is she like paying off a dare or a bet or something?
Good question.
Now
It seemed unprompted otherwise and odd.
you said waiting for the movie to start.
I'm assuming
But
they're
I
in a
heard
movie.
the power
broke.
went out. Like something
okay.
broke.
Dude.
Well, technically, they're waiting for the movie to start.
I went to was going to go to a movie last night with Chrissy. We're going to see The Lost City. The only movie she wants to see in 2 years. So we're going to see The Lost City on opening day in the Dolby Cinema at the glorious AMC in Century City. 20 minutes we sat there while I tried to fix the computer, and then eventually like, sorry, movie's not happening. Come get your refunds.
What is The Lost City?
That's the Sandra Bullock
Action-packed.
Channing Tatum movie.
Oh, man, I should have married Christy.
It's supposed to be good. It's got
It's
86% on
Oh,
Tomatoes,
really?
Yeah.
It looked like so much
It does.
fluff
It
that
looks-
I would
looked like
enjoy.
Drek.
And it's the kind of movie that Sonny would look down his nose
Right.
at
It looks
when
like
I wanted to
nonsense,
enjoy
and then it turns out it's supposed to be pretty good. So let's go see it.
Oh, okay.
She's like, I want to see that.
All right. So we got that clip. So the power goes out, and I guess she just goes, I'm going to entertain the natives.
Well, Brian was sort of right. She's saying now that it actually was based on a dare from her 8-year-old daughter. Who she was
Wow.
with.
Does that count?
Yeah.
Your 8-year-old wants you to do all kinds of shit you ignore.
But the power or something broke.
Both the projector and the air conditioning went out. So
Ah.
while everyone was waiting around, she decided to take her 8-year-old up on that dare.
All right.
It's fucking Russian hacking.
By the way, the projector and the air feels like a power situation. I can't wait till we go full electric in LA County
yeah. What could go
without
wrong?
upgrading any of the grid. It's going to be awesome.
But before we start, she's in a very slinky, sexy dress. I find it hard to believe that she was just going to a casual movie with her daughter, but okay.
I agree, but then she anticipated as somebody go, what happened to the power? That line didn't break. It was cut. I mean, she couldn't have anticipated the power going out.
I'm just saying she's looking very fancy for a casual afternoon with her daughter.
Well, let me say this, rich man, poor man, crazy man, sane man, or crazy man, poor man.
Okay.
Crazy people either essentially dress like disheveled messes, or they wear a top hat and a bow tie to a Chipotle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Good,
like,
sir.
That's childlike thinking. My 5-year-old wore a fucking ball gown to school today.
Right. But what I'm saying is when you're nuts, all you need to be is inappropriate all the time. So
True.
You see either direction.
Yeah, here we go.
Also want to point out she is a stand-up comic and a psychic medium.
Oh, there's where the nuts comes in.
So, I am a single mom. Do we have any single moms in the house? Take my ashes and spread them near Pismo Beach and Lake Tahoe and whatever's left over, I want you to put in your dad's coffee grinder. I feel like all the moms in NorCal thought I was a stripper. Does anybody here tattoos? So I also like to give advice to people. I believe in Buddha. Jesus was never married. He could have been dropping off the kids for a week and have been like, here's your dead fish, bitch. I want to help. I want to inspire. I've been going through depression. Does anybody in here chant? Numb your hold and get killed, numb your hold and get killed. I'm like, if that can get Tina Turner away from Ike Turner, that can get me out of my 1-bedroom into a house in the hills. Hold and get killed, numb your hold and get killed, numb your hold and get killed, numb your hold and get killed. And I joined the all-black gospel choir. As I look back over my life and I think things over. Usually when I sing that song, the white people are confused. Put us out of our misery. All
right, let's stop it for a second. I read some headline that just said female comic pops up, does stand up with power outage and crushes.
Oh, no.
That
People
was
are talking to each other.
Someone did someone a favor with that headline.
I
That's like when if it's on Fox or CNN, like the libs got owned, or really put the smackdown on the
watch so-and-so get
conservatives.
destroyed.
Right.
yeah. This was a euphemistic headline, I guess.
Yeah.
Man.
I thought that it was a feel-good story of the year because I thought the audience started, the slow clap at the end and the
Not
stand.
seeing
And
that.
I don't feel like I heard anyone laughing.
Taking mercy on a mentally ill person.
Can you find? I don't know, Kaylin. Are there headlines to this story? Because
I'm
I just
looking for that one.
I just had someone tweet me one, and
Yeah.
it's like, and it was like she, it was a feel good story because she provided entertainment instead of the movie and lifted the spirits of the crowd and blah blah blah.
You know how, like, Gina, you probably are aware, there's sites like the Jezebels of the world who will take this and be like, look at this girl overcoming her
Right.
fear and crushing. It's like, this is not really what
No, yeah,
so
exactly.
It's a nice version. But
I sent this to Chris yesterday with the one that I got was the headline, "All hell broke loose at the AMC Burbank."
that's what I saw.
Yeah.
Is this hell breaking loose, or is it just a bunch
I
of
think
people
they're being sarcastic, but
not paying attention to the person doing stand-up?
The first news story that popped up here is from BuzzFeed. It says the woman behind the chaotic impromptu stand-up set in a movie theater called her performance a victory against misogyny.
oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's great.
That's great.
That's great. I think I saw one of them. Trying to find an article you said where it's very, very praiseworthy. And I thought it had come from the Today Show or NBC, but this one says, a projector broke at an LA movie theater. This comedian decided to do some stand-up. Pretty neutral.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Pretty
what
neutral.
happened.
Instead of she bombed or bothered the hell out of everyone.
But I like that it's a swipe against misogyny.
Yeah, who knew?
I was a quarter joking when I said Russian hacking, but is it weird that my projector and this projector probably went out at the exact same time? The same.
Did anyone do
chain?
stand up in your movie theater?
No, we all stood up and left.
I wonder if this is going to encourage a lot of hack comedians to just sit in the front row of
Yeah.
theaters and go, like, I'm just going to sit here until something goes wrong, and then I'm popping up.
Well, you know what else they probably do for a living? Southwest flight attendants who also bring their A material.
She was on Chris's flight.
That's what I'm saying.
They can't. Are you guys? Well, that reminded me. Southwest flight. Southwest flight attendants used to do a lot more comedy. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, has that gone by the wayside? I haven't been on in a while.
Yes, they kind of stick to the nuts and the bolts now, and
Oh.
they're doing a little less of the commentary. And I think I know why. You guys remember that story?
A specific story?
And Kaylin can look it up, but it was about 10 years old now. A Southwest flight attendant did a thing where it's like, oh, we've overbooked and someone's got to get a voucher and get off the flight, or some version of I got to pick somebody, and nobody raised their hand. And she said she did eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe.
Yeah, that's got racist
and
origins.
then somebody said this is racist, and I think, like all good things, that all the fucking pussies are over litigious. What it does, the residue you leave on society is this thing that everyone kind of enjoyed or thought was funny or quasi interesting or whatever. The memo comes down from on high. Hey, just knock it off.
Yeah.
No talking.
No more comedy.
No more. I don't want to
Nothing
get
to be gained,
I don't
everything to be lost.
I don't want to get sued again. Right. So they go, nothing to be gained. But what is to be gained is the overall slight collective happiness that you're bringing to the weary traveler. But we'll pull the plug on anything. This is the part with it's like it's part and parcel of the part where the chick gets fired from ESPN, and I go, why don't you come on and talk about it? She goes, I'm a big fan, but I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. Southwest, they were a lot more jocular or jovial or something 10 years ago, and then it's kind of stopped.
Kazumas, Feel the Love, the airline of love, LUV. Remember, it was their whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
So
We
let me
love
guess.
bags.
As soon as the person said that's racist, the flight attendant was like, "You're the one. You're out. Go."
You got-
Get your voucher and get out.
I don't think anyone said anything in real time. I think they just went and filed the thing, and I'm sure the flight attendant who's 26 and the eeny, meeny, miny, mo thing had no idea, as most Americans do, that it had some sort of racial origins
That's not something I learned until adulthood.
from
Same.
back in the day.
Tell us how Pulp
Do you have
Fiction.
that story?
Yeah, I'm seeing it's actually from 2003.
Wow, it's a long time ago.
She was trying to get all the passengers to sit down, and she said, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick a seat. We gotta go." And two
offensive.
women were very offended by that and decided to sue the airline because of it.
And now there's no more joking on a Southwest flight, you worthless cunts. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't think people really understand what this is. It's global, it's insidious, and it's just tamping down the general overall joy that we have as human beings. This is what it is. All the lawyers are involved, and there's a lot of you just can't do this.
Yeah, let's play it safe.
Yes, that is, boy, did they win? Did they settle up? And then also they have that. What they have is, and it's also the news outlets, because then what the news outlets do is then they do the headline, racist commentary from Southwest Airline, and that's all Southwest Airline wants to avoid. Your racist, headline, racist comments, by, Southwest. It's got racist, it's got Southwest next to it. That's the headline. Yeah. No one reads the story. And so now they go, let's fucking cut them a check. Here's what we got to do. Cut them a check and flight attendants stop talking. That's what we get out of this. All right.
Win-win.
Yeah, win-win. I don't know if they ever settled. I do not know.
My Spirit Airlines flight attendant on the way back from Kansas City was pretty cute, and funny. She said as we were landing, "Okay, everybody's been sitting a long time. Let's do some plane yoga." She goes, "Everyone put your arms up," and everyone put their arms up. I tried to get a video of it, but I didn't do it in time. "Now go to the right. Now go to the left. Now put your arms down, touch your toes, and while you're down there, pick up your trash." And then everyone came down.
That's funny.
But God knows how that's going to get people in trouble.
We'll have to ask Chris if he did it on his late night flight.
Mm-hmm. So also there's another clip that's funny, and so there's this clip that was going around, and ever since the New York Times reported, I don't know, last week, that kind of verified the Hunter Biden laptop, and they went, well, I guess it is real, and they probably knew it was real the whole time, but now they're kind of saying,
we're just hoping it would go away.
Yeah, now it is real, and so there's this clip from the debate with Trump.
Oh, yeah.
And Biden, and Trump's going, what about the laptop? What about Ukraine? And Biden's going, it's Russian disinformation. It's been checked out through all these security guys. Yep. Nobody's listening. Now, the reason I'm playing you this is not about Hunter Biden and his laptop, although it's going to make you miss Trump. As much as you hate Trump, you will miss him a little bit after this. But it's not the Hunter Biden laptop and the argument over it, or who's right and who's wrong. It's the moderator. The moderator wants to get back to the subject, the next subject. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want to get into this. She wants to get to the important subject at hand, and we'll hear what that subject is.
Well, I tell you what, I hope he does look at me, because what's happening here is, you know who I am, you know who he is. You know his character, you know my character. You know our reputations for honor and telling the truth. I am anxious to have this race. I am anxious to see this take place. The character of the country is on the ballot. Our character is on the ballot. Look at us closely.
Let me ask some follow-up. Please respond, and then we're going to have follow-up questions.
If this stuff is true about Russia, Ukraine, China, other countries, Iraq, if this is true, then he's a corrupt politician. Right. So don't give me the stuff about how you're this innocent baby. Joe, they're calling you a corrupt politician.
Nobody.
President Trump, I want to stay on the issue of race. We're talking about the issue.
Laptop from hell.
President Trump, we're talking about race right now, and I do want to stay on the issue of race. President Trump,
I have to respond to that.
Please.
Because look,
very quickly.
There are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plan. They have said that this has all the 5 former heads of the CIA, both parties, say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
You mean the laptop is now another Russia hoax?
That's exactly what.
Is this where you're going? This is where he's going. The laptop is Russia,
Gentlemen,
Russia.
I want to stay on the issue of race.
You have to be kidding. Here we go again with Russia.
We're going to continue on the issue of race. Mr. President, you've described.
We got to get back to race. Yeah. Race. We have to discuss race. That's 2 old white guys. I'm not a racist. I'm less racist. I'm marginally racist. Declare you're not a racist in front of God and everyone else. So we spend our time to fucking arguing about race. I want to get back to race. I want to get back to race.
Some sort of breakthrough. Right.
Okay, you're going to say he's racist. He's going to say he's not racist. And
we run out the clock.
Find out what's going on in Chicago in the inner city 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 50 years from now, 10 minutes from now. It's like race, right? We got to discuss race.
You're right, though. I very much miss his hand gestures. I forgot about the big, small hand gestures. But also, those debates were fun to watch.
Yes. Russia. All right. Well, the experts all weighed in and said it was a Russian plan.
He said of both political parties. What was that about?
I assume they were appointed by different presidents.
Right. Well, yeah.
You mean all the heads of the
Yeah, but he's
FBI and the
saying
CIA?
like, everyone, doesn't matter
FBI
if he's
and the
saying
CIA.
like, everyone, doesn't matter what you believe, what I believe, they all decided. I wonder how true that is.
Well, they looked at Trump as dangerous and they wanted to get rid of him. So it's not really
a Republican Democrat.
Yeah, they lied. But as I was saying to Dr. Drew the other day, all those security heads lied. They knew they were lying. Nobody knows more about that subject than they do, and they never wanted to verify the laptop or anything. They knew they were lying, but the French resistance would lie.
For good cause.
They get a Nazi uniform and falsify a passport and to the good.
Right.
You know, so now you're in this weird zone, which is like, well, are those guys un-American for lying? Or are they the ultimate patriot for lying?
Defying for what they believe is right.
Right. Yeah. Which is, I believe, look, this is stupid or liar. You don't run the CIA and the FBI if you're a stupid person. Right. You know what I mean? You're lying, but we can't just call you a liar for the sake of lying. You have a greater good. Yeah. It's no different than AIDS is a heterosexual disease as much as it's a gay disease. Like, we're lying, but we're trying to
we don't want people to have AIDS.
We're trying to get you to do something.
I would guess the CIA lies more than they tell the truth in the purpose of what they think.
Yeah,
right.
It's part of the job.
But then you get back to this question: is do you want guys lying because of their belief affecting things in this greater proportion? Because now it's sort of like, well, you did believe that Trump was going to do X, Y, and Z, but we don't know. That is your belief. And
I'm
now
still
you're
waiting for a
affecting the
pee-pee tape.
outcome.
Where's my pee-pee tape?
Yeah, it's been there forever.
It's all in the Steele dossier. All right, Dawson.
Yeah, boss.
You got thoughts, or you just demoralized by this?
It is pretty funny that all of the ruling class said that this thing was crap. That this laptop wasn't real, it was Russian disinformation, and it's all true. It's not.
Well, you want to know? Here's an interesting psychological experiment for everyone. I do this all the time. I reverse engineer everything, and it'll work. It'll lead you to the truth. You know, so there's a lot of like behavior, and you go, "Oh, that's this," and you have to break it down. So, the damning stuff that's in the laptop is a couple of things. There's a kind of there's a moral side of it and a salacious side of it, and then there's just a sort of factual side. The salacious side is just embarrassing. I mean, this guy took more like dick pics and hooker filmed. He filmed it like smoking crack. I mean, it's essentially, if you wanted to put together, if you took a person you hate the most in life, and you said, I would like to put together a collage of this person doing the worst things ever to embarrass them the most, to put out in the public, that's exactly what you would do. It was like, I'm spanking this hooker, I'm snorting shit off her ass, I'm falling asleep with a crack pipe in my mouth, I got dick pics all over it's insane what he chronicled. I have no, I mean, look.
If you wrote it in a screenplay, like a little too on the nose.
No one will believe that.
He was high as a kite. Fine. But I will tell you, and this will help. This helps a lot to get at the truth. So obviously Russians didn't falsify Hunter Biden dick pics and crack pipes and stuff. Those are just pictures of him in his hotel room in Vegas. But what it's being alleged is that a lot of these emails could have been cooked up by Russia, or at least that was. I don't know if anyone really believed it, but that was that's the premise we're running with. So you got to think about. So you go, what's on the emails? The emails were business, energy, Ukraine, ironically, and China, and all the worst actors in the world, and Hunter doing business with those people. And so you kind of go, well, how's that affect Joe Biden? He had this rogue son who was doing business in Ukraine, and people go, well, yeah, he was only there because of his last name. He has no experience in this business, but he did it off of your name, which is an indictment of Biden. But Biden just goes, I didn't know what he was doing business-wise, even though he did travel with him and he did meet these people, but he still gets to go, I didn't know what he's doing. But the damning part in the emails is it says, after we get paid by these Burisma Energy Company in Ukraine would break off 10% for the big guy. So
presumably his dad.
Right. But here's the psychology of it, and it's a good way to think of things. The big guy was called the big guy because nobody wanted to fucking send an email saying we're giving it to Vice President Joe Biden. You know what I mean? Or Daddy. So you go the big guy. And now President Biden has plausible deniability. Like, I don't know who the big guy is. Maybe he had some shadowy partner. Some sure fuck wasn't me. And you could take that into court with Mark Garagos, and they couldn't hang that on you. You'd go, I don't know who the big guy is. If you're Russia and you're doing the disinformation and you would like to see Biden lose the election because of this email, you don't write the big guy.
Oh, yeah,
you write, break it off for Dad. Break it off for Joe. You would use a name or a position, a VP, right? Yeah. Why wouldn't you? You're creating. You go, I got to create this damning email, and I want to sink Joe Biden's presidential campaign. So I will say, and break off 10% for Pops. Right?
Yeah.
If you're going to make an email out of whole cloth, then make it right.
Yeah, go for it.
That's how you know it's a real email. Russian wouldn't have been that ambiguous about the big guy. And that's all I'm saying is when you look at stuff, you have to kind of reverse engineer it a little. Like if this was created in the Kremlin and it was done to destroy Joe Biden, why aren't you using his name?
Interesting.
And they probably wouldn't get the colloquialism right anyway. For the man with the broad shoulders.
All right. Let's see. Let me take care of a piece of business, and then we got ourselves Rotten Tomatoes game to play. BattleBox. Oh, how will you find your new favorite piece of outdoor gear? Sign up for BattleBox, and it finds you. Monthly subscription for hand-picked outdoor survival and everyday carry gear. Name brand, high-quality products every month at half the price. Just pick the box that works for you and get tested and vetted products selected by a team of outdoor professionals delivered to your doorstep each month. Like every month is Christmas at your house with BattleBox. BattleBox has shipped over 1 million boxes since 2015. They have high-end, top-quality gear that you will be impressed with. I guarantee you that. I love their stuff. You sign up, receive, survive. Don't miss another BattleBox mission. It's BattleBox, right, Dawson?
From now until March 31st, get a free mystery box worth $115+ with any new subscription at trybattlebox.com/Adam. That's a free mystery box worth $115+ right now at trybattlebox.com/Adam. Trybattlebox.com/Adam.
Oh, we got a case update in the eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so these two sisters sued Southwest Airlines for discrimination. One of them claimed that the flight attendant's remark caused her to have a seizure.
Oh, my.
Leaving her bedridden for 3 days.
I don't understand.
After a 2-day trial and just 1 hour of deliberation, the jury ruled the two sisters did not suffer discrimination. After the ruling, the women claimed that they were discriminated against again by the jury.
All right, so now they're going to sue the jury. This
has got to be a Garagos case.
This sounds like The Onion.
Now, Southwest presumably had to spend several $100,000. You know, you go into court, it's several $100,000 low end to defend. Right. That's so much of the system is you want to settle up? No, I didn't do anything. Well, it's $1 million if this thing goes inside that courtroom, and the settling up's only $475. So then your business. Most time they make business decisions that way. All right, we'll take a quick break. Back with the Rotten Tomatoes game right after this.
Listen to that noise. It's a high falsetto voice. It can only mean one thing, and you can feel it. Gossip names are flicks, and the gang makes their picks, guessing if it's rotten or fresh. If they guess it exactly, we'll get a bonus 5. It's the Rotten Tomatoes game. You know how we do it. Give me the Rotten Tomatoes game. Now it's time to play it.
You know, speaking of Uber, they gotta have raised their prices. I mean, gas is $6.50 in LA, and all they do is drive in a circle all day.
Yeah.
They've got to be passing that shit along, right?
At certain times during the day, it costs $170 to $200 to get from Santa Monica to the Valley.
Really?
Really.
How'd you find that out?
I got friends out in the Valley or out in Santa Monica who don't have cars.
Really?
And they have to really judge when they're going to get out to the Valley.
Who are these people who don't possess cars?
Doug Laux is one of them.
Who?
Former CIA case
Oh,
He's been on the
really?
show.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a car because I guess if you break it down, I mean, let's okay.
Look at his lifestyle. He was a CIA guy. He lives on the road for most of his
Yeah.
life. He's never had a need for a car.
Okay, he's fine.
I guess if you are like a work-for-home person and you live in some sort of community where you can walk to the coffee shop and open the computer and do your work and go to the movie house, and then you occasionally Uber around to obviously, and also you're Ubering to places you're probably going to have a couple drinks at, you know, as we're going to a party or something over there. I get it. And then you take the car, the payment, now the gas, insurance, and you go, get that off the docket.
Well, when I Ubered from LAX to back home in the Valley, you know, when we got home from Kansas City, that was like $80. I did get a Tesla, though. It was my first time in a Tesla.
All right. Sorry. Here we go, Dawson.
Max Zapata is getting married in just a couple of weeks. But before he can say I do, first he has to say, I don't want to do this anymore. Why are you making me drink? Wait, is that a stripper? That's right. This weekend is the big bachelor party. And who doesn't love a movie that features an over-the-top celebration? This week on the Rotten Tomatoes game, bachelor party movies.
Nice.
All right.
Back in 1984, bachelor parties didn't take multiple days and happen weeks in advance. They partied like real men and got completely hammered for one night only, the night before the ceremony. And before he became America's sweetheart, Tom Hanks starred as nice guy Rick, who's dragged out for a night of debauchery that goes off the rails when his fiance's ex-boyfriend attempts to sabotage the big day. Co-starring Tawny Katane from 1984, Bachelor Party.
Adrian's Med?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
This is his
come on.
coming out party. Now, this is, T.J. Hooker's Adrian Zmed. If you want to have a laugh about T.J. Hooker and Adrian Zmed and Shatner's like, just take a look at his hair from, 1987. He had the biggest hair a cop has ever had.
And please don't forget Michelle Pfeiffer's love interest in Grease 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is like a fun movie that I'm sure the critics didn't really like, but it was right on. It was right at the very end of the hey, there's titties. That's enough.
You can sell the movie on that.
Think about the advantage you would have as a filmmaker back in the late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s, where you go, look, the script is for shit. There's not a recognizable name in this entire fucking movie. There's no arc. There's no story. But look, as long as we can talk some 22-year-old no-name chicks into fucking pulling their top off, we'll just make a shower scene.
Hit.
Good enough. People will come out.
Yeah.
And this was like at the kind of at the end of that. All right, Hanks is eminently likable.
I've never seen it.
I've seen it. It's not good, but Hanks is so fucking likable that he could kind of carry things, All right, the critics didn't like it, but
does it have a charm?
But there's Hanks. Yeah, it's just so kind of charming, and it's not, it's not offensively bad.
Okay.
All right, you guys in?
Yep.
I said 39.
32.
You did me so fucking dirty, Adam. I tacked on so many points when you were like, but Hanks is charming. Barely fresh at 63.
That could work.
Bachelor Party is rotten at 54%.
Oh, okay. Thank you, I meant.
Our next film proves that bachelorettes can be just as funny and just as raunchy as The Boys Club. Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph lead an all-star cast about best friends growing apart while they plan an extravagant wedding. Spoiler alert, the bachelorette party gets so crazy the plane has to turn around before it even lands. Co-starring everyone from Melissa McCarthy to John Hamm and directed by a recent guest of the show, Paul Feig, from 2011, Bridesmaids.
It's a genuinely funny movie.
Love this
Great movie.
Doesn't even bother with the bachelorette party. That could have been its own movie, and it wisely just avoided the whole thing altogether.
Yeah. And this is a good example of my own misogyny because I did not see this in the theater because I thought, chick, not that funny. That's me being like, how good could it be? It's one of the best movies ever. It's one of the greatest comedies I've ever seen.
It's very funny. It's got a lot of really good individual performances in it. The part that is a little weird is the guy who played the cop with the Irish accent.
Oh, yeah. What's his name?
Chris O'Dowd. He's Irish.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it just seemed weird. He was in the Midwest or somewhere, and he's like a
Chicago.
weird Irish accent. It was an M. Night Shyamalan kind of thing where he played the security guy.
Right, at the
it's
park.
like in the middle of this place in Kentucky. Like, where'd this guy come from?
Although fantastic role by John Hamm.
Yeah, it was all good. So this is, in my opinion, they can be tough on raunchy comedies sometime. Be kind of interesting. It'd be an interesting experiment. I would say, and maybe this is giving it away, but the aforementioned, was it Bachelor? No, I'm
Bachelor
sorry.
Party.
No, what was the Vegas
Hangover?
Hangover, sorry, The Hangover. Now, I would say Bridesmaids and The Hangover were equally funny movies. They're both very innovative and they're both funny. I don't know. I couldn't say this one was funnier than that one. Maybe I would say The Hangover's a tick funnier, but they're both real funny movies. But critics are tough on comedies because they're snobs. But I think the Bridesmaids got the uptick for the ladies doing it for themselves.
Hangover was, I think, a little funnier, but it was also a one-note raunchy comedy, whereas this actually is a little bit of depth. I think this is a better movie.
Right. Well, the social experiment will be if this is 10 points% higher than The Hangover, it means it got a bump. It got the lady bump. All right. So I say, this thing's a 82, 83, but with the lady bump, I'm kicking it up.
Just the one.
Lady bump.
Yeah, I'm good.
God, I'm shit. 91.
Same, 91.
89.
I was going to go 89 too.
Oscar nominee for Best Supporting Actress, Melissa McCarthy.
You guys are dancing around it. Bridesmaids is certified fresh at 90%.
Oh my God, that's funny.
In a surprisingly disturbing comedy, Jon Favreau's Las Vegas bachelor party takes a very dark turn.
Your buddy Pete Berg.
After a hired stripper is accidentally killed, his unstable friend, played by Christian Slater, begins killing potential witnesses, just as his beautiful fiancée, played by Cameron Diaz, starts to learn the truth. Written and directed by a pre-Friday Night Lights Peter Berg from 1998. Very Bad Things.
I never saw this, but I like the premise.
It's way over the top, but intentionally so.
Like in a Tarantino way?
Yeah, more absurd.
Right. Like heightened reality.
What year is this? Sorry.
1998.
This was started. There was like a genre of these really dark. I think Tarantino ushered this kind of stuff in.
Very darkly comedic.
And this has some good performances and some funny scenes and stuff, but it's definitely it's no Tarantino.
Right.
Kind of thing.
One of my favorite actor redundancies is Leland Orser, who you guys know from this movie and Seven, is involved in the death of a prostitute by impaling in both movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which one is he?
He's the guy who fucks the girl to death with a blade in Seven, and he's one of the bachelor party attendees.
Terrible way to go. I'd rather be shot.
So this movie is it's got some redeeming qualities, but there could be an element of it's no Tarantino. I see what you're trying for here. But
nothing for this is edgy. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, it could be. I just don't. I saw it a million years ago, and I can't remember.
I appreciated the dark aspect of it, but this is still the era of Siskel and Ebert and Gene Shalit. You know what I mean? I don't think they're down for this left turn.
Rotten? Is it
all right. I would say, guys in.
I mean, I guess.
Rotten at 53.
Ooh, 52.
48.
Wow.
Very Bad Things is rotten at 41.
Oh, yes.
Gina edging out to a lead.
I've never seen that.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have the original Wolf Pack. 4 unlikely friends who throw such an intense Las Vegas rager They wake up the next morning having no memories of what happened the night before. With the groom now missing a day before the wedding, the guys have no choice but to retrace their steps and race back to Los Angeles. The film stars Bradley Cooper, Ed Helms, and Zach Galifianakis. From 2009, The Hangover.
And what year was Bridesmaids?
2012?
Oh, okay. I just wanted to know how close
2011.
they were.
All right.
Oh.
All right, so now we can conduct our experiment. So Bridesmaids got 90 with the critics, but only 76 with the people. Now, if my lovely lady bump theorem is working, The Hangover will be a little lower than Bridesmaids with the critics.
Right.
But I think you'll see that the people
yeah.
will have it higher.
So you're going to put it around 80 then?
It's a little raunchy. It's fun, but critics are, again, snobs with comedy. Usually, and
Also, there's a lot of, and I love it, but there's a lot of dumb humor in this movie. Like,
Right.
it's funny because it's stupid, and I don't think they often respond.
Well, if I'm being fair when I say I didn't see Bridesmaids, I've never seen The Hangover in its entirety.
Oh,
well,
it's a
watch
fun
it this
movie.
weekend.
Okay.
All
I
right.
saw this the weekend after my bachelor party.
Yeah.
It came out in theaters the
compare.
weekend after.
I'm gonna.
Wait.
This
Okay.
has a wide swath. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a world where this is rotten. Oh, hold on.
There is a world where it's rotten.
Now you got me nervous.
I'm gonna have some faith in the critics because if this thing is 63 and Bridesmaids is 90, I'm gonna be pissed at the critics. I'm gonna say 79.
63. When you say a number, I know to listen.
Okay.
78.
We have a 10-point deduction.
10 point.
5 points, sorry.
Someone got a double.
Because The Hangover is exactly 11 points lower
Damn it.
than Bridesmaids. It is certified fresh at 79%.
Mother.
And the people have it at 84. That's the lady bump
Yeah.
that you get between the critics and the peeps.
The lady bump logic works.
Oh man, now is that our last one?
No.
One more.
Oh,
Damn
'cause
it.
I just got back into the race here.
I think I'm in third place.
Okay, now imagine The Hangover, only this time everyone is a senior citizen. That's essentially all you need to know about our last film, which follows, you guessed it, 4 friends heading off to Las Vegas for one last romp.
Oh, yeah.
But things have changed over the decades on the Vegas Strip, and a combination of health issues and grief begin to drive friends apart. Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas, Robert De Niro, Morgan Freeman, and Kevin Kline star in 2013's Las Vegas.
Who asked for this?
This is somebody came up with the title,
Yeah.
and then they made a movie around the title.
Yeah. Because these are 4 big stars that we celebrate. We still kind of consider them sexy. And this is like not dignified by the premise.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, we're going to Vegas. We're old. We have health problems. Our wives died.
I don't think anyone liked this movie. On the other hand, all great performers,
Yeah.
and are 4 great performers ever able to sort of pull something across the finish line.
Yes, but to Brian's point, generally, no one has ever told me you've got to see Las Vegas.
That's 100% backfired for me.
Or is there some punishment where you go, come on, this is way beneath you, De Niro and
Right.
Klein and all the rest of you. So
Was this around like bucket list time when like this was kind of the thing?
They were doing a lot of this. So, all right.
Okay.
This is a very close game. Gina's.
I don't think so.
I-
Well, between you two,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think we're neck and neck.
Okay.
I actually might be ahead.
This is close. What were you on the last one?
I was 78.
Oh,
you only
so
gained
Well, it
6
doesn't matter.
points.
You know I'm going to take a bow anyway.
that's true.
good
Oh,
point.
I forgot you were 78. That's barely. Okay.
Hold on. I got to think about it.
All right. So this, these are the kind of movies. Some of these movies will sneak up on you. Like, oh, it had a certain charm to it. 73. That they can easily do that, or they can punish it way down.
Because this
in the
might
40s.
be for our parents. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it might have been off our radar. Never even saw it.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
I got it rotten at 44.
Oh, I had to go way low at 17.
I think I was very generous. Probably the age of the average viewer of this movie, 55.
Las Vegas is rotten
Go low. Go low.
No, not too low.
at 46%.
Oh, what did you have?
44. You were what?
I had 55.
It's a shameful game.
Didn't pick up too much there. This could be tight, Gina. No idea.
All right.
Don't even read my score.
Oh,
Gina
please do.
Grad, congratulations. You made the podium.
Thank you.
Take a bow.
Adam Carolla coming in with a score of 23.
23?
Great showing.
That's a solid
Wasn't
score.
enough to beat the other two. Well, I can tell you one thing for goddamn sure. It was well more than enough to beat Bald Brian.
That hurts a lot.
Brian coming in really crushed it on that last one, bro. 76.
Oh.
76.
Say it one more time.
76.
Not good.
Adam Carolla, 23.
Oh, my God.
But that leaves us Gina Grad.
Oh, boy. First no bachelor party invite on this.
She fought hard the entire way through.
Yeah.
Right around the bullseye every time. Gina Grad, your score of 27 gets second place.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Two great scores.
Damn it.
You must have been two or 3 points ahead going into that very last one because it was only a 9-point or 7-point range there.
Good game.
Good game. That was a good game.
Yeah.
All right. Fitz Dog is here. We're going to see if he's going to do a little Bobby Hollander for us as Fitz Dog. First, I'll tell you about Keeps. More than 50 million men in the U.S. suffer from male pattern baldness. Keeps, it's a simple, stress-free way to keep your hair. Convenient virtual doctor consultations and medications delivered straight to your door every 3 months in discreet packaging. Low cost starts at just $10 per month. Treatment plans are typically half the cost of pharmacy prices. Proven results. Keeps has more 5-star reviews than its competitors. And you can check it out, the before and after. You can go on their website, check out their before and after photos, see how effective it is. Prevention is the key, people. Treatment can take 4 to 6 months to see results, so act fast. It's Keeps, right, Dawson?
If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/Adam to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's keeps.com/Adam to get your first month free. keeps.com/Adam.
All right, Fitz Dog is here. We'll talk to him right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, man, I was in the 7th grade. Kid next to me in study hall cuts a giant fart, and I start cracking up laughing. Teacher made me go drag my desk into the closet where I spent every study hall from then on in the closet. Ended up doing a total of 111 days. He said I could come out when I was mature enough to join the class, and I wouldn't give the prick the satisfaction. Then the school year ended, and I never saw the guy again. Later on, get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
You know, there's all these bullshit edicts about dance as if no one is watching, dance. I feel the same way about laughing when a guy farts. I hope I never get so mature that I don't fucking bust up when someone breaks wind.
I feel like it's the first joke, like when a baby farts, it giggles.
And then the last.
And it's
it
the
could
last
be the last.
one.
Grandpa
Yes.
getting off the sofa, heading to the home.
Right.
Well, I think it's the last noise you make when you die.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and
I've seen it.
And
Oh,
I
boy.
sympathize because in Mr. Bernal's class, when Ray let a huge fart go, I started laughing so hard, and he just, Mr. Bernal, I always loved it because he told Ray to stand in the hall. And I was really just the wheelman. I didn't go into the bank, I was just there, but I was laughed so hard. And he couldn't send me to the hall because that's where Ray was. And why do I get the same punishment? All I did was laugh. So Mr. Bernal goes, and Adam, you move your seat. And I got up and went 5 seats over and sat back down again.
That'll learn you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like punishment.
Yeah, I was at the gym the other day. I work out at Gold's Gym. I was just bragging about that. You can see. You can look at me. You get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on the elliptical machine, and I always fart. There's like a 3-minute period at the beginning where your intestines rework themselves,
Right.
and then you have to fart.
Sure.
And when I got on the elliptical, there was nobody behind me. And then there's a rowing machine behind me. And then I just let it rip. And then I look behind me and there's somebody there.
At rowing machine height?
On the rowing machine height, yeah.
Schwarzenegger right there.
Yeah.
The elliptical machine looks like a machine that doctors invented in Switzerland to get people to fart.
Yes.
And then somebody realized, there's some value to this as well. But
Cardio.
it's a machine to get you to fart, like in Star 80 had that sex chair or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what that is.
Right.
It forces the issue.
Yeah, it's like with Viagra. I think they invented it to help people with heart conditions, but it turned out it gave you a bonus. And by the way, I was at Rite Aid. This happened a couple weeks ago. I was at Rite Aid, and the guy ahead of me was ordering his Viagra. He had a discussion with the woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then, at Rite Aid, they always make you give your phone number before they give you your drugs. So he gives his phone number, and I jot it down. And I text him about 2 hours later. Hey, I just wrote, "How's your dick?" And I get a text back, "Who is this?" And I said, "It's your Rite Aid pharmacist, just following up." And then he writes back in all caps, "Leave me alone."
Oh,
wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good.
See, there's so much to be mined out of life.
Yeah.
That's why you have to always be prepared.
Be prepared.
Play it like a center fielder right before that ball comes off the bat.
Right.
Always prone in the comedy position. That's Fitzdog.
Yeah, I'm always ready. I take Adderall in the morning just so I can go out into the world and be ready for these situations.
Yeah, head on a swivel.
What if you didn't take the Adderall? Would you not be as alert?
Yeah, I would have gotten one of the numbers wrong. I would have been like school again, where I was there, I was listening, but I wasn't hearing. Yes, it wasn't going in. And I was bad. I was bad in school. I just got, I got all D's, nothing but D's. And then my parents had to hire a college placement advisor to try to get me into college.
Oh, wow.
It was $350,000.
Oh my God.
No.
But they got me into Yale. I went to Yale. I was on the rowing team.
Wow.
I saw those pictures of you.
Yeah.
You're quite the crew guy, yeah.
And I'd never done it before, so it was pretty amazing that I got on.
Well, you did. You went to college out of high school, right?
No, I took a year off after high school. I did not think I was going to college. I really did get all D's. And I went to I worked for 6 months. I worked 2 jobs for 6 months. I was a caddy during the day. And then at night, I was a cook at TGI Fridays, or a chef.
Yeah. Sure.
And then I...
You're designing the menu, Greg.
A microwaver.
And then I took the $3,000 I had saved, and I went to Europe for 6 months with a backpack.
Nice.
And I got home, and my father goes, "Congratulations." I go, "What?" He goes, "You got into Boston University." I go, "What?" I go, "I didn't apply to Boston University." He goes, "Congratulations."
Oh, he goes, "Yes, you did."
He goes, yeah. He filled out the application. He wrote an essay.
Fraud.
Yep. And then I just showed up.
Did you take the
college.
SATs?
Yeah. I did very well on the SATs, but my grades were really bad, so that's how I got in.
Wow.
Yeah.
You asked me the same question the other day. I forgot to tell you. I had good SATs too.
Yeah.
Because I do. There's
the thing about ADHD. You can buckle down and study for a test and kick ass, but over the course of a year or semester, you're doomed.
Do you want to know how I got into college?
Yes.
Yeah.
2 very important words that I don't know because I haven't done my research apply to California schools. Automatic acceptance.
What?
KU. I never took the SATs. I knew I wanted to stay local. I didn't have good grades. I did want to go to college. They just let you in if you're a resident.
How nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I do feel. Tell me, I may, at the risk of offending the audience in this studio, I've noticed a little down rounding in life in general. Like when people go, "Oh, we were middle class." No, we weren't upper middle class. We were just, we were right in the middle. And then at some point they'll go, "So anyway, I totaled my Corvette my junior year of high school." And you're like, "Where's this fucking Corvette?" Oh, my dad ran the Chevy dealership. It's the biggest in the tri-state area.
Right.
Anyway, but we were real middle. And then they start going into, once I was on a cruise with my family. We were going and we're passing through the canal. And it's like, what is this middle? Where's the middle? And there's a down round. And so I get it. We're living in a time when everyone's kind of successful people have a target on their back. Like, if you said to some celebrity, like I go, hey, I do home improvement stuff. I got an idea for a show. I go tour fancy homes that celebrities have. And they go, no. I don't want any cameras in here.
Yeah,
like I don't want people needing to know I have two refrigerators next to each other. And
There
one's
was a
a
show
walk-in.
called Cribs 20 years ago.
longer.
Yeah.
Right. So what Cribs is take little mofo. He'd always be in Florida or wherever the 14-year-old rapper would be. And then he would borrow someone's Ferrari 360 and park it in his garage.
Beef himself up.
We're trying to pad it up.
Yeah.
Now we're tamping it down, right?
Yeah.
And I feel there's a college, high school version of this where I've talked to more and more people. They go, oh, I was a shit student. I was a shit student. And then my first year at Vassar or MIT or wherever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you could have been a shit. I hung around shit students. You were fair to middling, and then you did well on your tests. You were smart, but kind of underachiever.
Well, I should also say I got into BU, but they have a program there that's called the College of Basic Studies, which is a remedial program.
You got a BS degree?
Yeah, I got a BS degree. College of Basic Studies. They used to call it coloring book school. And so for 2 years out of your 4 years, you had the same classmates. And they gave you science and math and English
and history.
And it was just like high school, and it was like they were. And they said 1 out of 3 of you. And this is like the orientation freshman year. They're like, look to your right, look to your left. One of those people or you is not going to be here. And I look to my left, and it's like some Jap from Long Island, and she's doing her nails. I'm like, she's not going to be here, so I'm good.
But God bless your dad. I mean, that was...
Guess where he went to college?
BU.
College of Basic Studies.
Wow.
1959.
A legacy.
Yep.
Right.
Chip off the old unimpressive block.
A very small chip. Yeah, and then my sister also went to BU, got into the College of Basic Studies. And also Howard Stern went to the College of Basic Studies.
Oh, I knew he went to BU, but I did not know it was the basic studies.
People tend to leave that part out.
Yeah.
I guess they do.
It's an asterisk on your diploma.
Matt Ryan.
Did he go? Oh.
No, he went to BU.
Oh, he did?
Oh, no, it's Boston College. I'm sorry.
All
the Eagles fans out there.
Yeah.
Did you go all 4 years?
Went all 4 years. I was on the dean's list for 4 years, and then about 7 years later, they gave me the Distinguished Alumni Award. I was the youngest person to ever get the Distinguished Alumni Award.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, I think I won a bunch of Emmys on Ellen, on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and then one of the women who was on the committee had gone to was in show business. Like I forget what she did, but she made them aware of it. And then I used to do this benefit show every year at the college for those first 7 years, where I had alumni comedians would perform, and we raised money. And it was graduation weekend, and it was like Mark Maron, Jeffrey Ross.
Oh my God!
A bunch of really funny people all went to BU.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff went to BU?
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So, well, that's quite a story of success from backpacking around Europe and no college to getting the youngest alumni award.
Yeah.
Who else is on that rarefied air list of
Distinguished Alumni Award?
Yeah.
Gina Davis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Archer.
She's an Olympic archer.
Olympic archer.
Yes.
She was.
Yeah.
You guys know about that?
Yeah, she got into archery and made the Olympic team or something.
Yeah.
When?
Maybe 10, 12, 16 years ago.
Oh, she went Paul Newman and did this as like a second chapter.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, it's the Basic Studies Olympics, though. She was in Basic Studies.
It has suction cups on the end.
So Archer Gina Davis.
Yeah. Archer Gina Davis. Who else went to BU?
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
Would they try and distance themselves from Howard Stern because he was controversial at the time?
At the time, yes. Yeah. And he actually donated a lot of money to the school, and I think they actually have a building. Maybe it's like in the communication school. There's a building, and I think he paid for it, but then they didn't name it after him.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Apparently, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, that's right. He went to the School of Theology.
That makes sense. Founder of Burger King.
Well, no.
Wait, Martin Luther King Jr. founded Burger
Come on,
Dr. Martin Luther King, Reverend King, is probably, I don't know who, let's see. Let's try to figure this out. Stern pays for a building, but doesn't get his name on it, right? So he's 0 for 1. Now, Martin Luther King doesn't pay for a building, but gets his name on a lot of fucking things.
There's a statue in the middle of the campus of these doves flying.
Lots of buildings and streets.
Yeah.
Now, you'd have to go, if we're going to have a competition, you'd have to go, well, who's the leader in the clubhouse? You go, well, George Washington, maybe. Maybe Washington has more shit named after him than Martin Luther King, but maybe Martin is catching him.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because as we're ticking down the statues of the old white guys, maybe he'll pass him at some point.
That's
Kaylin, figure this out.
Yeah, how many Washington
What year are they going to
Boulevards?
pass?
Well, that's what
Washington
Chris Rock
Boulevards
used to
are
do
there?
a bit about that. He's like, they give Martin Luther King Boulevards, but it's always the worst neighborhood that you're in. And he goes, and the only other worst neighborhood, you're in a worse neighborhood if it's Malcolm X Boulevard.
And
that is so true.
Right. Yeah. All right. So you want to do...
Wait, real quick. Let me tell you who else. Julianne Moore, AOC, and
AOC.
Jason Alexander.
Right.
Wow.
All hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to try a little... We played our Bobby Hollander clip last time Fitzdog was in. And
Yes.
I should tell you that Fitzdog's going to be at the La Jolla Comedy Store. That'll be April 8th through the 10th. And then Spokane, Washington, Spokane Comedy Club. That'll be April 14th through the 16th. And then Denver Comedy Works, great club there, April 28th through the 30th. You go to fitzdog.com. I ran into a opening act, someone who opened for me when I was wherever I was last. And maybe it was, I guess it was in KC. And just talking to him, and he went, oh, yeah, Fitzdog came through here, and I opened up for him, and he was such a nice guy, and he's such a good comedian. And he just,
that's nice to hear.
He praise on you.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is a thing when you're on the road a lot is those are your friends for the weekend. You don't know, the opening act and the feature act, they're the only guy that's going to go to lunch with you. Because I'm not really into bringing opening acts with me on the road. Because I sort of feel like, the local markets, they've got their own guys and they're fucking hustling, trying to get work. And you don't want to come in with somebody who's like,
bump them.
Casey especially, I remember that's a club that's got some good comics coming out of it.
All right, we'll play a little Bobby Hollander just so you can wet your whistle.
Yeah.
My name is Bobby Hollander, and I'd like to introduce you to a tape called The Personal Touch. Now, The Personal Touch is something different in home entertainment. It's strictly adult, strictly X, and it's hot. It's so hot, it's going to blow your balls off. It's going to want to make you wet your panties. It's going to want to make you reach in and grab it. It's going to want to make you come right on your television screen. The Personal Touch means personal touch. It stars Shauna Grant, Sharon Mitchell, Paul Thomas, Ron Jeremy, Dominique, a newcomer to the screen, Gene Harlow. The Personal Touch was shot on videotape to give you the finest quality in adult entertainment. It's going to let you, the home viewing audience, get out of your bed, off your couch, out of the bar, and you guys that are watching it in a bar, we're going to be into the bathroom in a minute, pulling your wang-wang.
What kind of bar is this?
I don't mean to say it in an obscene way, but we wanted to make it that way. Shauna Grant in this film, whose stars you've seen in Penthouse, you've seen in Swank, High Society.
Why the music
Chic,
bed?
Hustler,
I don't
Velvet.
know where this comes
You've
from.
jerked off to her in Genesis and Gallery.
All right.
I love her credits. Like that's
Jerked off to her.
You jerked off to her in Swing. Like you've seen her at bus stops. You've seen her at Burger King trying to ask for a free refill when they clearly don't give them.
And also, it's kind of funny when they do the math, because if they're talking about a comedian, they go, oh, he's made you laugh on SNL, he's made you laugh on The Tonight Show, you've jerked off to her. It's kind of, he is doing the math.
That's right.
Right.
Like if he said, Shauna Grant's made you laugh in Swank. She's made you laugh in Jennison. You'd be confused.
Yeah, you don't want to laugh.
And honestly, you probably did rub one out to her at some point, you know.
Which is a very visceral connection to that human being. And now you're going to see her again, and it's going to bring back some good memories.
You know, let's just really...
Or memories.
Let's think about positive juju for a second.
Let's do that.
Gina, I want to ask you specifically.
Okay.
That's the name of my agency, by the way.
Positive juju.
Yeah.
Now, juju, all you jujus in Hollywood running the place, you go, well, you know, people thinking positive thoughts about you. They have studies. I really don't know how they work, but they have studies where they say when people come in and pray for a patient, you know, that they recover 41% faster or whatever. And I've never really looked into it, but that's what they say.
That's what they say.
But isn't beating off to you the ultimate positive juju? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
You know, Shauna's in heaven right now looking down.
Yeah. And that was her livelihood.
Yeah. Is she happy about guys posthumously rubbing one out to her?
I think so. It's pouring a little out.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you look the best, you know, exploit it.
So
I think there should be a reward for that. If you jerk off thinking about a girl, you should have to buy her a gift.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And certain girls, they'd have just FedEx packages stacked at their front door. Yeah.
We don't have to exchange any words, just have the check in the mail.
Right.
I like that.
Right.
On the honor system,
yes.
right?
Yes.
It'll be called OnlyFans? Question mark.
I like the... it is the ultimate homage, beating off to somebody. I know it grosses girls out, but it's a tip of the cap.
I heard, and I don't know why it's called that, but I heard it's called trekking.
Oh, really?
I don't know why.
Never heard that.
Okay, that's what I was told.
Because Trekkies are mostly jerking off.
Speaking of jerking off, Fitzdog, Chris is at his bachelor party along with the lion's share of my staff.
Oh, yeah.
So we're running a skeleton crew here because it's a work day. I've had a lot of range in bachelor parties. I've been to some of the shittiest ones in the world. I've been to some of the funnest ones around. What's your range with bachelor parties?
Not really that wild. I mean, my bachelor party was pretty nuts. We got we rented a Winnebago and from LA, and we took it to Vegas for 3 days. And it was Nick Swartzen and Zach Galifianakis were in the van with my buddy Mike Gibbons, and then some of my college friends
Gibby.
flew in. Gibby, you know Gibby.
Was this post-hangover or pre-hangover?
This is I got married a long time ago.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I
He was
thought-
a struggling
yeah,
young
of course.
comic. Nick and him were barely making a living. And so we went to Vegas, and we had a blender to make drinks on the way out, and there was a tube TV up on the top of the Winnebago that with a VCRs we were watching porn and making blender drinks.
Hey, I'm Bobby Holland.
And I'm driving because I'm the only sober
You're
guy.
driving?
Yes.
Oh, that's not fair.
No, but picture the big wheel. You get to do the big wheel.
Little honk with the rope. Yeah.
And I swerved, and my brother-in-law, who came in from South Africa for the party, the tube TV fell off and landed on his head. And
That's outstanding.
luckily, he's like an ex-rugby player, and he had like blood dripping down his neck, and he's like, "I'm fine. Make me a blender drink."
Wow.
And we went and we saw. Do you remember a guy named Chips
Calhoun?
Ahoy.
There was a guy in Vegas. Maybe somebody can research this. Chip something. And he used to do this really campy kind of schmaltzy Vegas act. And we went there.
Oh, well, there was cookie crumble in the jars or cookie
jar.
Cookie
Oh,
jar.
he's referenced this many times.
He's the greatest.
That's Jimmy's favorite act.
Oh, my
Cookie jar
God.
and the crumbs?
And
Yeah.
And we went and saw him, and we everybody got on stage, and so a lot
and not in a off the strip and
Sure.
like the
Sure.
El Cortez
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something. Something you haven't, 2 stories max.
Right.
Yeah, Jimmy and I used to stay at that place. We
Yeah.
got to see Cookie.
and he plays all the instruments, and he does. It was amazing.
He's a white guy who.
Yeah, he's a white guy.
But he may be doing some cultural appropriation.
Oh yeah. Cookie's not afraid of a little blackface.
Oh, no.
He looked
During the James Brown number.
He's got like a little Richard kind of look to him, but I
Yeah.
think he's a white guy. I don't know if he's still alive.
And he's got the sideburns.
Cook
and,
E-jar.
and a horrible wig.
Oh, that has to be a wig.
That's a wig?
I hope he's still working.
Wait, let's see. So you went to see, what year was this?
This would have been 2000.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy and I used to go there.
99,
He would
maybe?
tell me
99.
he lost his virginity in the parking lot of that hotel.
To cookie jar?
Oh, yeah.
You just take him?
I don't know.
I must have you.
I just remember. There's all little flashbacks I had. Yeah.
Can we watch some cookies?
Yeah, watch
I'm
some-
thinking a little Pan-Asian.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's so hot in here.
Oh, boy.
In here. So hot there.
Oh, is this Kimmel?
Is it? Is this him performing on Kimmel?
Yeah, looks like it.
Oh, it
yeah.
is, yeah.
He doesn't play places that
I wonder how he got on Kimmel. Oh, I know how he got on
Come on with it. Good gracious, ass bodacious, unpurchased, trying to show face. Wait for the right time to shoot that speed. Wait for the right blast, no Jesus.
So this is karaoke.
Yeah, all right. What I want to
at those
see, I don't know.
jeans.
I'm with you. I like the ironic stuff more than I like the quality stuff.
Yeah.
So my thing is when I watch an act, whatever it is, singing, comedy, whatever, it either legitimately has to be good or the person is horrible, but they legitimately think they're good.
Yeah,
and I
right.
will be entertained.
Wait
Right.
a minute. For years, you railed against American Idol in the first round. The people who love the first round, like me, or the weirdos showed up and thought they were good and were legitimately bad. And you said there's something wrong with me. And all the people who felt the same way.
Well,
and now you're parodying the same
Two
thing.
things can be true.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I can be wrong about American Idol, and there can still be something wrong with you. Don't carve that out.
Agreed.
It's not all based on American Idol.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the people that I thought were putting them on. And you're probably right. I thought some of the people were doing an intentional goof.
I agree.
And I didn't like if you
Right.
if you're doing a goof, I want
Okay.
you out. You
But
have to
there were
really
people
believe. Yeah, it's true. If
William
you believe
Hung.
you're good, then I'm with you.
Yeah.
But that was cookies. It's funny. I would go to Vegas with Jimmy. You'd go with Zach Galifianakis, and we both go to see Cookie
Yeah. Could have got in anywhere.
for the same reasons. I'm sure.
Yeah. So that was my bachelor party. We went to strip clubs and all that, but Cookie Jar is the highlight. I hope he's still playing.
But you
Is he
guys,
still with us?
and Adam to a greater degree, because they started off doing construction, and now is a very wealthy man. You've experienced, both of you, I imagine, the high and the low of great and poor bachelor parties.
Yeah, I remember Kevin Meaney's. God rest his soul. He got married, which turned out to be a little bit of a head fake because he was a homosexual. It turned out, but the woman he married. I don't know if you know this, but Kevin Meaney was like one of my best friends, and we grew up one town away from each other. But he was about 10 years older. So when I was a little kid, Kevin used to be a waiter and speaking of faking that you're middle class, we belonged to a golf club, and he was a waiter at the golf club, and he was poor, and he used to wait on me when I was a kid, and I'd be like, Kevin, get me another Coke. And so,
That's great.
and then anyway, so as I got older, I became a comedian, and then my father put me in touch with him because my father got Kevin on stage his very first time. in New York.
That's like an agent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He got him on stage his first time. So he always loved my dad, and he used to go on my dad's radio show when he was coming up. And so then Kevin became like my mentor, and then he used to bring me on the road. And so then he got married. He ended up marrying my next door neighbor, who was my babysitter my whole life. They get married, and her father was a Eucharistic minister, which is, they're like just short of a priest.
Ah, wow.
And so we go to the bachelor party, and there's a stripper, and she gets completely naked, and she's, playing with herself and toys. I mean, it's a hardcore show. Mm-hmm. Hardcore. And she goes over to Kevin Meaney, and this guy, Kevin's wife's father, is there. And he's dressed in a suit and tie, and he's got on his wire rim glasses, and the stripper goes over and she takes the glasses.
Oh, God.
And she sticks them up her ass.
No.
Yes.
Pussy, maybe.
Yes. In her ass.
Wow.
And then she put them back on his face again.
Oh my God.
And Kevin goes up to him later and he goes, Mike, you got a little something on your glasses?
Did that guy have a fucking heart attack when that happened?
The dad should recuse himself. At a certain point, dad got to recuse
You shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I've been to some shit ones. Like I said, Philip the Juggler. We ended up at the Queen Mary, which was a drag show, and that was
I've been there.
Old Valley
They're
Haunt.
old drag queens.
Yeah, on Ventura Boulevard.
Yeah.
It's not. Here's the problem, I think, with the bachelorette party or the bachelor party. Let's see if we can remove the novelty part of it. Like where the chick gets the turban that looks like a dick and she has to walk through the casino. And it's like, how's that fun for anybody?
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, this will be a goof. We'll have a divine sit on Adam's face and he'll pay a fucking 2-drink minimum. Sorry.
I'd give any amount of money to see that.
27. That's not a good, and I make $11 an hour. This isn't a good time for me.
Right.
You know what the female version of that became for a long time, like a good decade. And it's fine, whatever. Everyone did it. It was just not that fun. Oh, we're all going pole dancing. We're going to pole dancing class.
I got it.
It was
Fitz
like,
dog, you would have been proud. Like, I organized a fucking mutiny. After about 45 minutes looking at the he-she's with the ball sack tucked between their legs, I just got up and went, you want to see some fucking pussy or not? Like, what are we doing here, people? And everyone got up and I said, I know a guy, at a strip club in North Hollywood. I know the bouncer. We can go over there and we'll go to Star Garden. Star Garden's on Lancashire. Ventura Boulevard, Studio
There's
City.
a plaque where he showed up.
It's a historical building.
Star Garden is, it's 5-6 miles away, but let's get in the fucking van. Let's do this. And we did. I got everyone up. We went to Star Garden. I knew the bouncer. I didn't really know him. I just been to Star Garden so many times. I was like, all right. We all piled in. And that's how I met my girlfriend.
No.
Yeah.
She was a dancer?
She was a dancer.
Hey now.
Yeah. She was hot. And it was kind of fun. It was like just a topless place, and it was a little flash dancey.
Oh.
They'd go out. Think about this as a quaint time. They would go out and do the first dance.
Yeah.
In just with their negligee or the bikini or something, you know. And then like the second dance, like a little bit would come off, but they were still not exposed.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the third dance, the titties came out, and then they went back, and then that was it with like the lights. So it wasn't
that's like neo-burlesque.
Yeah, it wasn't like full raunch.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there digging on this chick, and then at some point, everyone left, and I was just sitting there. And my
last guy standing.
My truck was back at the Queen Mary, and they were like closing up the joint, and I was like, "How about you give me a ride?" And she's like, "Okay." And and we went to Twain's, which was the
oh my God,
all night coffee, whatever,
like a Dupar's.
Yeah, and just sat there, had a cup of coffee till like 4 a.m. Then I had to do fucking construction, so I had to get up at 6:15 and go to work the next day.
Worth it.
Hey, Carolla, why do you have glitter on?
I know that's how I met my girlfriend.
What was her stripper name? Candy.
No, her stripper name was Catlin. Catlin, and I said, I'd say to people, before I started dating her, she was just hot. I liked her, and I'd go, I'm going to Star Garden, and I go, what are you doing? I go, I'm going for a CAT scan. That was my
Your big line.
That was my big line. I'm going to go scan cat.
Yeah.
And she had a sense of humor.
Yeah.
That's why she was English.
Oh.
She had an English accent.
Wow.
And she had a sense of humor. And then the reason I knew she had a sense of humor, I told you guys this before.
Thank you.
They had the DJ booth, right? And the DJ booth was a little place, and the DJ booth was raised up a little in the corner, and it had this glass thing in front of it where they have his records and stuff. And all the pics, and that's where you would put pictures of all the girls who worked there. And all the girls that worked there, there were like 7, 8, 9 chicks, and they would kind of rotate them out, 3 on a, it'd be like, is Catlin working Monday, or is she working Wednesday, or whatever? They're on like a rotation. And so you'd go over there and look on the DJ booth at all the chicks, and they're all in their lingerie, and they're all greased up, and they're doing their glam shots. And her picture was a picture of her at age 7. At Christmas. Because somebody said, we need a picture of you to put up at the whatever. And she got a picture of her when she was 9 or whatever.
That's
and I was
funny.
like, this fucking chick's funny.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
That's a sense of humor.
Here's where I knew I was going to be a stripper. Here's where things started to
That's
go
right.
wrong at home.
Whatever happened to Catlin? Do we keep track of her?
She, we lived together for a while. We lived together at her place in Hollywood. That's where I painted my truck stereo and put the kill switch in because it was up in Highland or whatever in Hollywood. I was going to get my truck ripped off for sure. No parking. Lived in Hollywood for a while. She found the newspaper that was advertising for the Acme Comedy Club. I'd gotten sort of booted from the Groundlings, and she looked through the drama log or something and found it for me. So that got started when they were forming over there. We live in an apartment in North Hollywood. She got pissed off at me because somebody was having a wedding in Hawaii, and I went without her.
Why?
Whoa.
Why?
Because
they didn't allow cats on
it was
the
like
plane.
all my dude friends were going.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have dude fun
Okay.
with my dude friends.
Sure.
I'd never been to Hawaii. It was like a big deal. And so I told her that only people going were the dudes. But it turns out some of the chicks went too. And she talked to some of those chicks. And I bought her a shirt with a gecko on it. So I tried to smooth things over when I got back.
Good.
But when I got back to my North Hollywood apartment, she was gone.
She's my cherry pie, cool drink of water.
And she moved into my grandparents' house in North Hollywood because they were out of town, and they told her they liked everyone more than me. So they said, you can move in.
Your grandparents have a rich history of taking in the other one.
Yes.
This is not the first time.
They're the defender.
Right.
Of
anyone but you.
Anyone but me. So she moved into their house.
Grandpa also hardwired some high-def cameras in that guest room.
Some nanny cams.
Yeah.
And then she moved in with my sister.
What?
I think in Venice or something. I was very depressed. I was living in this apartment. I couldn't afford the rent. That's where I got the roommates. I do rent out the room to someone for a month to month. Different stranger dudes moving in and out. I was desperately trying to get her back. I think she immediately got like a new boyfriend.
Sure.
Like literally saw his motorcycle parked in front of my grandparents' house. I mean, it was as bad as it could get. At some point, got back together with her briefly, and we lived in a little apartment in Santa Monica, and then she dumped me again, and this time it was like, yeah, she probably's right. And never saw her again, and then she moved back to England and became like a doctor or psychologist or something.
Boy,
Yeah.
she was really on the trajectory.
Huh.
Yeah.
So some of them really do go back to school.
Putting themselves through school.
Yeah, she was never really the stripper type. But it was tough because then when we started living together, I was like, well, now you need to stop stripping because now we're living together. And the problem with going straight is you become a receptionist at a law firm and you get fucking $11 an hour and they take taxes out versus free drinks and walking out with a handful of
How much cash was
every
she
night.
making on a night?
I don't recall, but A, it was cash, and then B, she was doing better than I was doing, making $13 an hour swinging a hammer.
You know what? If you're going to do that, if you're going to make that, you draw that line in the sand, here's what I think you have to do. You have to say, no more Star Gardens. You have to get a regular job, and I will supplement your income to what you were used to. I'm not gonna. You're not just gonna be a lay around the house bon lady, but you get a job, and I will supplement what you were making.
She
Not that he could do that at the time.
she made.
But you'll have to give you unlimited lap dances.
I didn't make any money, but her and I did drive her like Isuzu iMark or something to Vegas and went went to Vegas.
What's an eye mark?
Oh, it's like a shitty sushi. She had like a Hyundai before anyone had even heard of a Hyundai. Yeah, we did go to Vegas.
Nice.
I do remember bringing it all.
It was the poor man's Suzuki Samurai.
Back to Vegas. Yeah.
Well, if anyone knows anyone who knows Catlin, please get her in touch with us because I have a lot of questions.
Dr. Catlin.
Dr. Catlin.
I think she still hates me.
Oh.
I think. I don't know.
She's my cherry pie.
I think there's a picture of us somewhere in your
I'd give
computer
any amount to
from
see her.
Vegas.
Good body?
Oh yeah, she was spectacular
For a 7-year-old.
Great, great bones, and the accent was
Was
great.
she going in the back room though and doing lap dances with guys?
No, it wasn't that kind of club.
Okay,
it
well,
was
more
like
performative.
They had like a pool table and a bar, and people just go there and like shoot pool.
It's a gentleman's club.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a gentleman's club. No, not Bob's Classy Lady. That was in Van Nuys. But yeah. All right, Fitzdog's here. He's going to hang out with us. We'll take a break. We'll do the news right after this. My Vegas memory of going to Vegas with Catlin was we went to the buffet at like Caesars, and I was so fucking poor, and I was always so hungry and had
Let
like
up
a
those
huge
pockets.
appetite, and I never got fucking fed anywhere. And we went to the buffet, and I fucking hit it so hard that when we were walking back to the room, I just go, I got to sit down. Like I stopped at a slot machine. I just pulled up a stool and I just go, I cannot walk. I've eaten so much. I don't feel like I'm going to yak or I'm sick or diarrhea or anything. I've eaten so much. I need to sit in this casino until I can be moved again.
Right.
That's how fucking, when you're fucking poor and you go to that buffet and you plunk down, $19 or something, it's like I'm eating $40 worth of fucking food. I have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a group of, I'm assuming gentlemen, but I could be wrong, that 100% agree that the mask mandate needs to go, and that is a group of airline CEOs. They sent a letter to President Biden calling on him to end the federal mask mandate on public transportation, arguing that the mandatory masking is no longer aligned with the realities of the current environment. This is what the letter says. It makes no sense that people are still required to wear masks on airplanes, yet are allowed to congregate in crowded restaurants, schools, sporting events without masks, despite none of these venues having the protective air filtration systems that aircraft do. And when I say all the CEOs, Alaska Air, Atlas Air, American Airlines, Delta, FedEx, Hawaiian Airlines, JetBlue, Southwest, United,
FedEx, they're moving boxes.
UPS, and American.
Yeah, well, so here's the unintended consequence. There's some number. First off, I think these guys know their way around an airplane. If they say the filtration system is good, it's good. Anyway, I've traveled 1 million miles on an airplane since the pandemic. Doesn't seem to be any vector of transmission. But, you have to go, so what? It's a little paper mask, put it on. Or what's the big deal? Again, in between bites, the second I heard that retarded non-science, I was out. But there's something like, they had like 7,000 incidents or something, and 60% of them were related to masks, or the people going, put your mask, or in between, like,
put your mask on, bitch.
Right. People feeling hassled and hovered over and a little bit freaked out, and now there's an issue. And that's what the mask causes. It doesn't do anything for transmission, but it does a lot in terms of morale, turn the plane around, got another drunken person who's getting into it with the stewardess. That's why they need to get rid of it.
That's interesting because I figured it was, our bottom line, our customers don't like it, but it could be to protect the, union of flight attendants that are like, fuck this, we're done with this.
Who wants to fucking argue with people for 4 hours on a flight?
I think there should be a mask that it's like a Hannibal Lecter mask, and then you can shut people the fuck up.
Oh, lock it?
Oh.
Yeah, you can lock it with a remote.
That I like.
Yeah.
Are those handed out to everyone who gets on the plane?
And a seatbelt. You need a key to take your seatbelt off.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Now, the reality, so what it's going to do when you remove the mask mandate is it'll be half the people on the plane will still be wearing it, but they will not have to be argued with because they'll do it volitionally.
Right.
And the other half who are retarded and not pussies and don't want to fucking do this won't do it. And so but you don't have to argue with them. So it'll take care of itself.
Well, I'm glad you brought up crazy
Are you guys,
people,
you guys
yeah.
about 50%? They lifted masks, and you go into a Trader Joe's or a supermarket. We're about 50,
Yes.
about 50%.
I get confused every time I go to the Westfield Mall. I'm like, oh, wait, are we masking? Are we not masking? Because, yeah, you're right. Half are, and I don't really know what we're supposed to do.
Yesterday in the movie theater, I wasn't sure if I'm supposed to wear my mask or no. Half people are, half people aren't.
Yeah, we'll see in 3 months, but my vibe from the Trader Joe's in La Cañada was just for about half the people, they're just going to wear one.
Okay.
It wasn't like people were going, hey, I'm sorry, you don't need to do this. Did you see the mandate or whatever? It's been lifted. Or it didn't seem informational. It seemed like this is this is
I think
what
it's
I
about
do
the
now.
same numbers as the condom mandate during AIDS.
Sure.
It's about 50%.
But not on the head. You wear it on your cock, right?
Oh, shit. No wonder I got AIDS.
Don't you feel stupid?
I feel like Howie Mandel. Remember he used to do that with a surgical mask?
You do it with a glove.
Right,
Would you do it with a glove? A surgical
Yeah, a glove. Yeah,
Right.
because they had like the rooster top.
And then he got a purse that's shaped like a glove. We talked about this one before.
I think we did.
Yeah, he
Good
got
for
a
him.
glove purse.
Yeah.
Well, let's continue talking about
Glove
crazy
purse.
people. Yes.
Seems like a bad shape for a purse.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean,
Because
unless
you'd
you
be
have
like,
5 lipsticks.
where's the fucking chapstick? It's
Yeah.
in one of the. It's at the bottom of one of the fingers.
Yeah, it's on your ring
you can't
finger.
dig it out. We got to turn it over and spill everything out. Now
Yeah.
everyone's going to see the tampons.
Poorly
and everything
designed.
Else. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Mhm.
A man was arrested at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta Tuesday after he punched a Southwest airline employee, according to police. And we will have some hot video for you. Social media video of the incident shows Courtney Drummond, we'll show you in a second, shouting as he approaches the counter, punching the employee. In a statement, the Atlanta Police Department said Drummond refused to comply with the flight attendants and as they were taxiing away, and he wanted out. And police said Drummond was asked to leave the flight after the plane was forced to return to the gate due to his aggressive behavior. Drummond was arrested and taken into the county jail. But here's my favorite part. His mother, Gwendolyn Foster, confirmed to CNN that her son is still in custody. And she said, my heart goes out to everyone, the Southwest staff. They're in my prayers. They're very religious. She said he's a godly person. Her husband is a pastor and, hopes that we can all move on from this. And this is what happened.
Come on, man. They called security a minute ago. Hey,
That's a real.
Oh, he stepped in.
That was a real punch.
And this lady gets in the middle of these two.
It's a real punch, man. God bless the lady with the big carriage who's getting in there.
Very religious.
That was a
godly.
big dude who took 2 steps into the punch.
And the real hero is the guy who turned the other cheek and came right back at him. I mean, that guy took a big overhand right and then turned and brought it.
It's on.
It was on, man. I got to tell you something about the airport. The airport's a weird place. It is like simultaneous. People act much better in an Applebee's than they do in an airport. And the airport has more security and more rules and more cameras per square inch than any other facility. Yet this is the place America's decided to sort of vent their frustration with society, verbally, physically. Why? It seems like the worst place in the world to
Why
do
not the
that.
library? There's no one there to enforce any rules.
Right.
Is it that people feel really anonymous at the airport, which is odd because you're on a manifest?
I don't know, but it reminds me of in Cocaine Cowboys, and they're going to make this movie about the Black Widow,
Griselda,
the female drug pin. When somebody was flying in from Miami, she's like, kill him at the airport.
Oh, boy.
And the guy was like, everyone was like, well, why don't we let him get in the rental car? You know what I mean? It's a lot of security in the airport. And they're like, no, it's like take the machete and send a message, do it or shoot him in the airport. And the guy was like, okay, I'll do as you ask. And then he goes in there and he shoots him. And of course, he gets caught because it's the fucking airport.
Yeah.
Like it's the worst. It's one of the worst places in the world to commit a crime.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do a smash and grab, you're much better off on Rodeo Drive than you are in the middle of an airport. Where are you going?
I stole
Whatever
a neck
crime
pillow
that is.
recently.
You stole a neck pillow.
Yeah.
Inflatable?
At the airport?
At the airport.
Wow.
I was in the little convenience store, and I got the pillow, and I put it on my neck, and then I was looking for some yogurt and a newspaper, and then I purchased. I get on the plane, I sit down, and I feel the pillow hit the back of the chair, and I was like, "Fuck! I forgot to pay for this pillow."
That's okay. The $45 neck pillow.
The lady didn't say anything behind the cashier.
Wow.
Yeah, but they're charging $9 for cashews.
I didn't feel bad
in
about
place.
it. No, I didn't
They
feel
got a
bad about
big
it.
markup.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever attempted the duty-free store?
Yeah.
I've never.
Multiple times.
Once every 7 years, I stop in front of the duty-free store, which is the best lit store in the place.
Yes.
If you got a fucking zit, don't go in that place.
Yeah. Yeah.
The problem is, do you know that when you buy something, they don't hand it to you? They put it in a stupid bag.
I don't know anything is my thing, but
lipstick.
every once in a while, I stop about every 6 years in the airport. I go, look at the duty free. Look at that.
Well, that's about how long that Cadbury bar lasts that you buy there, because it's 6 feet long.
Look at that giant bar. Look at that giant bottle of vodka.
All I've ever bought there is booze, and the price is like what you would get at a sale at Bevmo. It's like an okay price.
Yeah.
Right.
Why won't they just hand it to you?
But
what am I missing?
This is what happens. I wrestle with myself. I go in there. Check it out. And then I go, you're Carolla. You got no business in that place. Get back to work, you fucking loser. And I go, wait a minute. I'm successful now, and I'm traveling, and I do belong in the duty-free store. I should do that. And then another part of it goes, go fucking sit at the bar and drink your Bud Light, you fucking loser.
Steal a cocktail napkin.
Johnny Walker Block, please.
Extra lemon.
No, I got time. I'm going in. And then I go in and have some sort of exchange with the chick behind the counter, and then I go, oh, okay, sorry. And then I leave. I knew this was a bad idea.
Sorry.
Whatever it is, I don't qualify. I don't know how to do this. I'm not sure what my address is. I thought I could get that giant bottle of booze.
Did I tell you about the guy who came up to me in the airport? I'm standing there, and this guy comes up to me, and he's kind of overweight, like husky, nerdy looking dude, and he's all out of breath. And he comes up and he goes, "There you are, Greg Fitzsimmons." I go, "What do you mean, there I am?" He goes, "I knew you were around here somewhere because I was looking for Wi-Fi on my phone, and your personal hotspot showed up, and it said Greg Fitzsimmons iPhone. So I looking all around, and there you are."
Wow.
And I was like, "Get the fuck away from me."
Wait a minute. Was it the guy with the Viagra?
Yes.
Turnabout, fair play, bitch. I followed you to the fucking airport. How's it feel?
I'm your pharmacist, motherfucker.
How's your cock feeling now?
I look down, I see he's got an erection. It really is him.
All right, Gina, let's do one more.
Okay. Well, it might not be the kicker that we're used to, but I was actually quite shocked by this. Dave Coulier is opening up about his past struggle with alcoholism. I don't know if you saw his Instagram, but he was very forthcoming.
What voice is he doing it in?
No, he's
Popeye?
doing celebrity farts in the middle of it.
Okay, sorry.
The former Full House star, who's 62, by the way, took to Instagram on Thursday to reveal that he's been sober since January 1st, 2020, after a battle with alcoholism. Show the picture.
Right before COVID.
Check out this picture. He looks really fucked up. And I'm going to read you some of his stuff. I took some out because it's really long. But there's a picture of him we're looking
was
at.
this taken shortly after Saget mysteriously died?
Oh, see, I didn't put that together.
Yeah.
So he's all scraped up, his nose, his eye. He looks like he was like in a boxing match. And here's some of what he said. "I was drunk, an alcoholic. When I drank, I was the life of the party. I could make people laugh until they fell down. In this picture, I was the one who fell down. Not because I was playing hockey or doing something else that I loved, but because I fell going up the stairs that were made of stone when he was drunk. No one loved having beers with the boys after playing hockey or around golf more than me. I was always the final guy in the room. The 8 hours of drinking, laughter, and funny stupidity was followed by 2 days of feeling like a bowl of dog mess. I love booze, but it didn't love me back." He goes on and says how psychologically and physically he's transformed, and he just feels so much better. The sky is bluer, and he's a happier man.
Good for Coulier.
Yeah.
Good
Nice
man.
Do you know him?
No, but I've always been a fan. He's great.
I just didn't see this. You know, you don't hear about Dave Coulier having any problems.
There's some more Saget stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys
The
heard
tribute?
about that.
Oh, you jumped the headboard.
There was a Saget, still very vexing. They've decided he hit his head on the headboard. The headboard is quilted.
Yes.
Which is weird.
Shortly after getting vaccinated.
Yeah, then there's I don't know. Then there's the club manager was talking to like the sheriff, and she was saying he had COVID symptoms, or he had problems with his hearing, and he had like a sore throat, and he told him to turn the sound up, and she sounds like she's kind of full of shit because his family's saying he didn't have any COVID whatever symptoms, but she's sort of entered the mix. But also tell me if you guys, okay, remember when I grew up, it's like, oh, the jury system, and this person saw the crime or knows something or whatever. We have a witness. Yeah. We have an eyewitness. An eyewitness, when I was like growing up, was like all you needed. To throw that guy in jail for the rest of his natural life or whatever it is. When you guys sit around and hear people give their version of something these days, does it seem as fucking kooky as you could possibly imagine? And so it's like when the club owner, the club spokesman or whoever, or the theater person is going, well, he was this and he said that and it was. I'm now putting it through the filter of every kooky broad I've heard recount a story that seemed insane. And dudes too. Dr. Drew does this as well. But what I'm saying is do we seem completely off? Like I no longer believe people when they go, this is what he said. He came in here. Oh, how many times you heard like he marched in? He was angry, man. Yeah. He yelled.
He got in his face.
He yelled at the person behind the counter and then he marched back. And it's like, I saw him walk in and talk to the person and sit down. He asked for water. Like we're nuts now. I no longer believe people when they go, here's what happened.
I'll think about that once in a while, like it pertains to like the witches and like old Salem. It's like, how many people were killed because someone was like, yeah, I saw them do something weird.
Yep.
It's like, you did?
I cured somebody, so I must be a witch.
That's all we need to kill someone?
No, they say that the Salem thing, nobody
real.
died.
They do.
Really?
Yeah, they say there was like no killings. That. Yeah. It's all made up.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd rather live in a world where they did, because I think it's a fun lore. But I've also heard that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That we've sort of blown it out of proportion through generation.
Well, we go heavy
like burning at the stake
on the
like
atrocities.
Yeah.
Sad to say, like lynching, we act like there was tons of lynching. It was pretty limited, but it was an atrocity, So we kind of go, all right, or burned at the stake or the witch. Like we go big before we go home. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'm disappointed.
Apologies for lynching. Look at you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Listen, I'm against it, basically. But
you edit the last part out.
I do, although I always like if she's a witch, let's tie her hands, throw her in the water, and if she drowns, whoops, sorry, but if she floats, she's a witch. We got to kill her.
Yeah. You sure Coulier just wasn't at the airport in Atlanta and some irate?
That's possible.
No.
I didn't see him in a polyester suit.
He's a gate agent.
That's right.
Well, I'm glad at least Mama apologized. I don't like it when Mama gets all defensive over their fucking piece of shit son who's throwing haymakers at the airport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I don't like that's my baby.
No. But I do like a man named Courtney. That's his name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't get that very often.
No.
Leslie, Courtney, Hillary sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I like that.
Right.
All right, so good luck to Coulier.
Yes.
Now, I don't know. Where do we come down on
Coulier?
Well, like a little too much sharing, maybe. Like you had an issue. You've solved it. It's none of our business.
True, but he also kept it. We had no idea.
Yeah.
He kept it under wraps for 40 years.
Isn't it called Alcoholics Anonymous?
Yeah.
I guess if you go to
and also, you're Canadian. We get it. You drink.
Yeah, right.
This is not news.
I just heard an interview with Kathy Griffin because August sent it to me, which is really interesting.
Right.
Did you hear it?
No.
It's that podcast called Sway, and I listened to the whole thing because he was like, "You got to hear this," and I had no idea. I mean, she sounds really rough and like very hard to hear because she had half of her lung taken out.
Right.
She's had, battles with cancer and she was 51-50'd. And you do hear more and more like celebrities going, and AA, I go to AA. I'm like, well, wait, what does it stand for?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Because isn't it to protect the program? So if you go out or if you stumble, other people won't go, well, that doesn't work.
Yes, you're not supposed to do it because you're inspired by somebody's sobriety. You're supposed to do it for yourself, and you're supposed to do it because you believe in the program and the higher power and all that stuff. So, yeah, I've always had a problem with that. And no offense to Dr. Drew, but, you know.
He's the problem.
Dr. Drew says AA does have the best batting average. Like It's like there is a program, it's free, and you can do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to whatever house in Malibu for 9 weeks. You can do that. All right, let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Oh, shit. No wonder I got AIDS.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
All right, that was so funny. Helium Comedy Club, May 6th and 7th. I'll be there. We'll be doing some live pods, and we'll be doing some stand-up there as well. Huntington Beach, Sea Legs at the beach. A fun venue. You guys are going to love it. We'll do a live pod there. Somebody asked me where the tickets were, or the link was for that, but
Have to be under the events page of Adam Carolla.
Yeah, look it up, Ken. We'll see if it is. Fitzdog, La Jolla Comedy Store, April 8th through the 10th. Spokane coming up. Spokane Comedy Club, the 14th through the 16th. And then Denver. And what you can do is go to fitzdog.com and also find all live dates and check out the podcast, Sunday Papers with Fitzdog Radio. And until next time, Adam Carolla for Greg Fitzsimmons and Gina Grad and Paul Bryan saying mahalo.
Music bed.
I don't know where this comes
You've
from.
jerked off to her in Genesis and Gallery.
All right.
I love her credits. Like that's
You jerked off to her.
You jerked off to her in swings. Like you've seen her at bus stops. You've seen her at Burger King trying to ask for a free refill when they clearly don't give them.